It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from the North Beer Advent Calendar to show you. We are into double figures now. We're going on to beer number 10. As with these beer Advent calendars, they start to look like they've been shot at, don't they? After a time, they're like, you don't want to move them just in case they all fall apart. But it's only the front. The back is very sturdy and whatnot. But beer number 10, here it is. Oh, and it's another beer that I think I've reviewed this. Open Space. Now, this is gluten-free pale, 4.5% ABV, 440 milliliter can, of course. Without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be really honest with this one because I think these reviews, especially with an advent calendar, especially with not knowing what is coming, I've got no idea what's coming, I've got a selection of glasses to put different beers in, and I think emotion should play a part as well in this type of review because you have an advent calendar, the beers are coming out, and I'll be honest with you, this is the first beer where I've gone, ooh, just a little bit like, oh, because of course, I don't need to drink gluten-free beer. I know there is a place for gluten-free beer. I can't remember the name of the stomach problems that people have with eating and drinking gluten, so I fully understand the reason for gluten-free beer, but it's nothing. It's not like I go to Asda or Tesco and I go down the gluten-free beer aisle, or you've got that area, haven't you, where you buy different breads. And my wife works in pharmacy, so she actually prescribes different breads and cobs and baguettes and stuff to people with, I can't remember the name of the damn thing. For people who have to have gluten-free food. So yeah, first time I've gone, just a little bit, but I suppose if you're a brewery, you've got that challenge, haven't you, of putting 24 different beers in a calendar. How many breweries out there, especially the traditional breweries, someone like Robinson's or Green King or Marston's even, have Marston's got 24 beers on the go? Probably not. Have Green King got 24 beers on the go? Probably not. So it's a tribute really to North. And okay, there will be a couple of beers probably in here that they've had to stick in just to build out the box. They've got no other choice. I mean, you don't see the regional breweries with advent calendars because they don't have 24 beers on the go, do they? So good on North Beer Brewing Company for at least having an advent calendar and at least having a big wide selection of beer. I think I was totally fair then in that assessment, wasn't I? I could have stood here and gone, oh great, a gluten-free beer, how wonderful. I could have done that, couldn't I? There was no temptation to do that because I like to be honest to my viewers. If I'm not honest, you're not going to tune in, are you? I think honesty is the most important thing when it comes to stuff like this. Anyway, 2 to 3 finger white head, a little bit of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass, slightly hazy, light amber in colour. I've had to add the lights on today. It's raining. It's dark, it's miserable, it's December. In the UK, of course. Let's get the aroma then. But I seem to remember, I have reviewed this beer before and I seem to remember liking it. I seem to remember thinking there's so many hops in this beer to counteract that. Whatever it is. Is it a wheat? Is it wheat that does it? Or is it oats? Malt? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, I'm sorry. But it smells good. Really hoppy. Real grapefruit, but pink grapefruit and orange peel, fleshy blood orange. Smells great. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Do you know, that's really decent beer. That is really decent beer. You do not get that gluten-free element of the beer whatsoever. And I tell you why. I'll give you the reason why, and that is because they've added so many hops to the beer. This beer is so tropical and hoppy and lovely, with a lovely bitterness coming through on the back end, that you really do not realise that it's a gluten-free beer. Am I emphasising too much on the fact that it's a gluten-free beer? Should I just drink it as a beer and forget that it's a gluten-free beer? Because it's certainly tasting that way. That is smashing. That is absolutely smashing. That is lovely. Really lovely. It's just so orange, fleshy blood orange, pink grapefruit, grapefruity, like chopping a grapefruit in half and sticking your face in the grapefruit, really sharp kind of flavours coming through. And that's to counteract, because I have had gluten-free beers without them being too hoppy, and there is something about them that I'm like, yeah, there's something missing from this beer. And I mean that with the greatest of respects to the people who can't have gluten. It's a bit like gluten-free bread, isn't it? It's just not great. And I'm sure people with the gluten problem, if I can call it that, I'm sure they will admit that the bread's not great, but at least there's something for them, you know? There's something for them to you know, crack on with. Especially beers like this, because this is brilliant. Pink grapefruit, resinous pine, tropical fruit flavours and bouquets of bright floral aroma, a balance with a crisp and clean bitter finish. Right, the ingredients are water, barley, hops and yeast. So it's got barley in it. I'll never understand it. I'm sorry. I'll perhaps I should have. Well, I couldn't do research, could I? This is the point. It's an advent calendar. I didn't know I was going to be pulling out a gluten-free beer. Perhaps if I did, I'd do some research. But you know me, I'm not going to be doing any research. I'll tell you, I'll do some research. But right, rating. I think it's smashing. Open Space by North Brewing Company. That is blooming lovely. For a gluten-free beer, lovely. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.